The federal government just confirmed that they are about to start diluting your gasoline this May.
Bitch.
That's what it feels like. Get every last drop. $23.99 for gas? Have you noticed your gas mileage going down recently? Well, you're not alone. Not only are gas prices insane, but a lot of people are noticing they're getting fewer miles out of their car, including me. And the craziest part is there are actually a few reasons why this might be happening. What if I told you the fuel itself might not be what you think it is? So in this video, we're breaking down why your gas mileage is getting way worse in 2026 and what's really going on behind the scenes. As usual, I'll be reading some of your comments in today's video, so if you want to be in the next one, definitely make sure to leave your thoughts down below.
Everyone's been complaining about gas prices, but have you been paying attention to your mileage? This man was driving through his neighborhood when he noticed something and was then able to catch it on camera. Because as he was driving, he was noticing that his gas mileage was dropping significantly, starting at around 352 miles per gallon left. As he's driving between 15 to 30 miles per hour through his neighborhood, steadily watching this go down. This man was only driving a few yards and was losing miles from his gas tank.
So who else has noticed their gas mileage going down over the past couple weeks or couple months? I've actually started to notice this happen too with my car, my Mazda CX-50 hybrid, the brand new one I bought that's supposedly supposed to get 38 mpg city and highway. I'm starting to get a lot lower. Now I understand driving habits play a role, but it has been getting a few mpg less than what I've normally gotten a couple months ago. So something is definitely off.
Questioning if he had filled up with gas that was actually water. Having only driven a few blocks, his gas tank looked as if he had already driven over 10 miles. Looking just in the span of less than 1 minute, he went from 352 miles per gallon, ending the video with only 348 miles left, meaning he burned the gas that he should have burned driving 4 miles in less than 2 city blocks. What is this exactly that would cause the gas mileage to literally plummet when you are driving a slow and steady speed through a neighborhood?
Right.
I was always under the belief that if you got watered down gas and your engine would sputter and like make noises as if it wasn't getting that consistent gas flow, this car was driving steady with no issues, except that this car was burning through the kind of fuel traveling feet that it should have been burning traveling miles.
Now I know what you guys are going to say. You're probably going to say something like, oh, if you just fill up your car is now going to relearn how much mileage you have left and kind of calculate and adjust for that. Yeah, that usually is the case. Maybe when you first get a brand new car or you just complete a road trip and then you fill up and you're doing more city driving. But for the most part, most newer cars kind of already have learned how you're driving. And if you've been driving the same for the past couple of weeks, couple of months, like most people do on their 9 to 5, you can get a pretty good estimate of how your MPG is doing. It typically stays the same. So for this to be changing that drastically, that fast, means something else is going on. Now, to address her claim that watered down gas would make your engine sputter and da-da-da-da-da, maybe if you had bad gas, like old gas, your engine would have a hard time running on it. But if there was literally water in your gas, your engine would just hydrolock and seize out pretty quickly because you can't compress water. Anywho, I wanted to read a comment that you guys had left on my previous New Car Insanity episode, because not only are they messing with our gas, they're also messing with our new cars and making them horrible, disposable pieces of plastic junk. So if you haven't seen those episodes, highly recommend you check it out. And if you guys want to get featured in the next one, definitely make sure to drop a comment down below. I don't know, man. I fix airplanes and drive old cars. Just watching the whole auto industry crash and burn now. This is something I have been preaching for a long time. If you've paid off your car and it's, old reliable, don't trade it in. Hold on to it for dear life. It is worth fixing it, even if it's a couple $1,000s, than going out and buying a new one, because those are going to break in just a couple of years. They are terrible. $23.99 for gas? Where is it $23.99 for gas? Guys, drop a comment down below. And how much are you paying right now for gas? What are you filling up with? I swear, I just saw at the Costco that I go to for regular was like over $4. I think steadily approaching $4.10, which means all the other ones in my neighborhood are closer to $4.30, $4.40, which is absolutely absurd. Also, guys, we're so close to hitting 100,000 subscribers here on the channel, and the quicker we do, the quicker I can give away $1,000 to one lucky subscriber. Hopefully, you guys can spend it on paying off your car, towards gas, paying off debt or student loans, something like that. So definitely make sure to click that subscribe button down below. And also, I have just recently joined Twitch, which you can find the link down in the description below. I'm going to be doing some live streams of these videos really soon. I even think this Friday, I'm going to be doing another one. So definitely make sure to tune in and follow me over there as well.
Bitch.
That's what it feels like. Get every last
Get
drop.
on in there now.
Oh, that's $1.83 worth of gas. It really is. Prices of gas right now is absolutely unheard of. Like, we haven't seen these prices in a very long time, if not already hitting all-time highs. I'm not sure. I think we had something like this a couple years ago, if I remember correctly. I promise I shake the pump a little longer these days. Keep it. This is Intuit TurboTax. Left a comment. Keep a sponge in my car for this exact reason.
Let's see how much it costs to fill my truck up. We are currently on 67
Truck?
miles.
A Mercedes truck?
So I drive an AMG GLE 63S. Gas
That's
is
an
about
SUV.
$4.86. We get the premium.
Nearly $5. That's crazy.
The price just going up and up.
Jeez.
Final price is $93.60. Crazy thing is, y'all, I be having to fill up like twice a week. I don't know what that orange man doing in the office, but he need to fix it. Because this ain't right.
Well, you have to fill up twice a week because you're driving a twin-turboed V8 engine, and you probably drive it like it's supposed to be used. So I can understand why you'd have to fill up twice a week. But the worst part of it is just a couple of months ago, instead of it being $90 to fill up, it would have been $40. And this is why it's so important to be out of debt, pay off your debt, and have an emergency fund, because when stuff like this, the unforeseeable, because nobody can really expect this to happen, plan for it essentially, when these unforeseeable events come up, you can be covered if you have a savings account. This won't make or break you, because I know for a lot of people with gas prices going this expensive, this is what's dipping them over the edge, tipping the scale into having to use their credit cards and go into credit card debt. And that's not good. People living paycheck to paycheck are now underwater because of something like gas when they really shouldn't be. Someone left a comment, what the premium do? And her response, the creator goes, girl, I don't know. They just tell us that's what we have to put in our tank for these types of cars. My gas is better quality and maybe it burns slower. To me, truly, it's like if you're going to drive something like this and own something like this, you should at least understand how it works. I guess it's not too important, but ideally it's like better performance, higher octane gas, and these cars are tuned for it. It's not the worst thing to put a lower octane gas in these cars, but you really shouldn't. You could actually get a check engine light if you do.
So, if you saw my last video about that mandate about the government kill switching our cars and stuff, right? In 2027, you probably asked yourself first, you're like, fine, I'll just go and buy an old car. And I've seen the comments, I've seen it all. And trust me, I thought the same thing. I was like, yeah, bro, like, no. Well, here's how they've already planned for that one. Ready? In March of 2026, the EPA issued an emergency waiver allowing E15 gasoline.
Yep.
That's 15% corn ethanol to be sold nationwide year-round. Congress is currently trying to make that permanent. So it sounds like a move to lower gas prices, but here's what they're not telling you at the pump. E15 is literally illegal to put in your car before built in 2001. Why? Well, because ethanol is a powerful solvent. It eats the rubber fuel lines, it corrodes steel gas tanks from the inside out, and it attacks water, causing your engine to choke. Mechanics one more time. Mechanic shops are documenting this right now. The alcohol scrubs years of varnish off of your tank, clogs your filters, and causes vapor lock. Automakers themselves warn that this could have cost drivers up to $4,000 in per vehicle repair. Who benefits from this? The corn ethanol lobby spent $187 million buying influence in Washington. In return, they've received over $20 billion in taxpayer subsidies to water down your fucking gas with a product that takes 1 gallon of fossil fuel just to produce 1 gallon of fucking ethanol. It's a pipeline, the mandate fuel that slowly destroys your older independent vehicles. The repairs become too expensive. You're forced to buy a new car, and newer cars comes with your fucking AI mandatory kill switches. Stop looking at the smoke and look at the fucking policies, people. Share this.
It's actually pretty interesting, and it's also why they tell you not to fill up at E. Like they say, don't let your car go to the bare minimum of gas, or you're going to be sucking up the sediment that's at the bottom of your gas tank into the engine, into the pipes and stuff like that, and it could damage it. So if you're now going to be putting E15, which is a better solvent, a cleaner, it's going to kind of scrape away all that gunk that might have been stuck over the decades you've had your older car, your 15, 20-year-old car, however old it might be. It's now going to make that stuff float around in your gas tank and potentially damage those older cars we've been trying so desperately to maintain and hold on to, because they're so much better than the new ones that are being created over the past couple of years. Absolutely insane. Somebody left a comment. Does anybody remember the buyback old cars or donating old cars for special causes? It was a plan to just take them off the market and push people into newer cars. I think this was the same thing for like cash for clunkers or cars for kids. The whole point was to just, this is the conspiracy theory, remove the cars off the road, get rid of them, smash them, destroy them, to push people into newer ones, to reduce the amount of parts that you can find for these older cars and reduce the amount of older ones that are on the market.
Is the Gas at QuikTrip watered down?
So many of you guys requested this place in all the other videos.
Personally, I've never been to this place in my life, but apparently this is like the Midwest version of Wawa. But to all my Floridians and Northerners, we know nothing can beat Wawa.
Anyway, though, let's see if this gas passes our test.
You guys already know the drill by now. If it doesn't read 10%, it's not good. First step, fill the water up to the fill line.
I'm using 87 because that's what most of you guys use.
I'll just simply go ahead and shake it up for about 30-40 seconds. All right, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's see what we got.
Whoa, is that E15? Yeah, my eyes aren't deceiving myself. You can see the gas right there. It's sitting at E15.
Bro, that's crazy. This is literally the first place I've ever gotten E15 from.
I guess QuikTrip hopped on that E15 trend early. That was supposed to start in May.
For those of you who didn't see the last video, starting in May, gas stations are going to be allowed to sell you E15 gas instead of E10. That means more ethanol and less actual gasoline. Now, I'm not saying QuikTrip's doing anything wrong because they are allowed to sell you it. But anyway, we still have a ton of other places to test out, so let me know down below in the comments where we should go next.
And I didn't even see it marked or anything on the pump. I'm actually so curious to know what type of gas I've been putting in at my local Costco that I've noticed the lower MPG, so much so that we're going to go right now and test it for ourselves.
That should be enough. Very cool. Let's go take this somewhere and test it. See, the water's at the line. Now we shake it for 45 seconds and then we set it down for 5 minutes. And once it's done separating, we'll know how much corn is in our gas. We got our results, and apparently somebody has a lead foot because it's not the gas. If you can see that, it is right at the E10, which means I must be driving too fast. One of us.
May the Lord hold my Camry whenever she leaves my home. Keep her safe from these idiots on the road beside me, and let her live strong until the final days. Lord, have mercy, for my payments are done, and I can't survive at this car market. Amen. See, and it's people like this that want to hold on to their car payment-free car, and now we find out that if you put E15 gas in it, you're essentially going to slowly ruin and degrade your car even faster.
The federal government just confirmed that they are about to start diluting your gasoline this May. So basically, the EPA just announced that starting on May the 1st, gas stations across the country can sell E15 fuel nationwide. If you're somebody that doesn't know what E15 fuel is, it's gasoline that's cut with 15% ethanol instead of just the usual 10. And you literally cannot make this up right now because they are calling it fortifying the domestic fuel supply, which is a really weird way to say that you're just going to be adding more corn juice to people's gas.
The EPA has issued emergency waivers for gasoline blends like E15.
Now this is why it actually matters to you, because ethanol has less energy than regular gasoline, so your car gets worse fuel economy on E15. The entire point of this is that you might be saving about 25 cents per gallon at the pump, but you're burning through it faster, so obviously the savings just cancels itself out. But this is the part that genuinely nobody's talking about, because the EPA normally bans E15 during the summer because ethanol evaporates faster in heat and creates more smog. They explicitly know this, but they just decided to waive their own rule that they made anyways because gas prices are high right now and people are angry. And if you're somebody that owns an older car, a lawnmower, a boat, or a chainsaw, they're saying to be careful because E15 can mess up those engines. So they're making your gas cheaper by just making it worse. Is that even surprising at this point?
They also say that that's why you get worse MPG in the winter times. I've heard this quite a lot of times. If you've noticed your MPG go down when it's cold out in the winter, it's not necessarily because of the weather. I actually think engines work better in colder weather. They get more oxygen, but it's because the gas is being cut. They change up the additives. They change up the dilution ratio of what's in it. I guess they add more ethanol, and you'll actually get lower MPG. Very interesting. Someone said, I've noticed terrible gas mileage recently. Who else? 17,000 likes. So it can't just be a one-off that, oh yeah, the car is recalibrating because of it's trying to learn how we're driving because we just filled it up. No, it's recalibrating because the gas is burning faster.
That right there is not good at all. There's something wrong with this gas. All right, guys, testing for 15% ethanol in the gas today at Shell, where it's $3.79. Where is it where you are? And don't forget to tell me where you want me to go next. So the E15 gas will be in almost every gas station across the United States in 3 weeks. And you guys have posted these pics in the comments where you've seen it in your states, like Missouri and South Carolina and Texas so far. I'm assuming gas stations will be able to issue it how they want, but if it's anything like these, you'll be forced to pay the premium price if you want E10. So what do you think about that? Would you consider that a form of consumer manipulation or price gouging? All right, we're gonna do plus today. All right, let's check and see if this gas meter is set properly and we're getting what we paid for.
In a water bottle? Don't drink that.
All right, for Shell, 247 works. Anything under 0.250 is okay. That means that they have everything set correctly. All right, water fill line is right on. Here we go, like we always do. Gas to the gas line. There we go. Shake for 45. And then wait 5. Look at this. I let this go 10 minutes instead of 5. And you still can't even see through it. This is absolutely the worst test I've seen so far. That right there is not good at all. There's something wrong with this gas. And that could be a couple things. It could be water contamination. It could be phase contamination. There could be other additives or impurities in there, or it could be old gas. I mean, it's possible that the ethanol, and that's what it does, is it attracts water, that it pulled water into this gas, so there's water in it. All right, so for Shell, I guess we give it to them for hitting the E10 level. But I wouldn't put this in my gas tank, would you?
Where are all my big car heads out there? Do you guys run ethanol? I've heard, yeah, you can get more power, but it really does wreak havoc on your engine and your oil and all that stuff. It kind of gets absorbed into one, and it makes it really sticky. So if you're running E70, E85, you really want to be keeping up with your oil changes. Maybe twice as quick as you might normally do it. If you're doing it every 6, 7K, you should do it every 3K or even less than that. Someone says, who do I sue when the gas ruins my old Jeep's fuel system? Yeah, if you have an older Jeep, older than 2001, you don't want to put E15 in it. It's going to gunk up and clog up. It's definitely not a good idea. See, and they don't really tell people that. That's the craziest thing. And I wonder when the cutoff is. Like, at what age should we be avoiding it? Because I also have a 2010 Mazda 3, which is decently old, 16 years old. And the last thing I want to do is put in E15 unknowingly, because apparently some of these pumps aren't labeled, and completely destroy my car.
The gas you fill your car up with is about to change.
Starting in May, gas stations across the country are going to be allowed to sell you E15 gas. For those of you who have no idea what that means, essentially the gas is getting watered down.
Right now, regular pump gas like 87, 89, and 91 contain about 10% ethanol.
But now it's going to get bumped up to 15%.
And this is where it starts to get interesting.
Ethanol has less energy than regular gas,
Which means you'll see less miles per gallon when you fill up your car.
Some people say it's totally fine for modern cars, but others claim over time it can be harder on your fuel system, injectors, and overall engine health.
So if gas prices remain the same, which frankly they probably will, you're pretty much going to be paying for a lesser product.
So does that mean we should all just panic, buy up all the fuel right now? Absolutely not. It's not like you're putting E85 in your car now.
Yeah,
if that
true.
was the case, you'd have a real issue. Plus, ethanol does help with cooling your engine, and it also helps lower greenhouse gas emissions. And to be clear, this isn't a mandate either. The EPA is just allowing stations to sell E15 more widely.
But if you really care what you're filling up in your car, I always recommend getting one of these ethanol test bottles.
They're very simple to use, and you know exactly what you're getting at the pump.
Our society needs a 180. Corporations are sucking the American worker dry and spitting them out while making record profits at the same time. Effing disgusting. It's really getting to the point where we're being backed into a corner. We're over here trying to avoid buying these newer cars that are meant to break down in just a couple of years. And now there's some ulterior motive underneath everything that conveniently wipes out all of the older cars at the same time, basically forcing us back into the newer cars. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you've noticed this E15 rolling out near you, let me know down in the comments below. Also, what is the price of gas where you live? Let me know about that too. But with that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe. And if you haven't seen my previous video on mechanics are quitting everywhere, definitely make sure to check it out right after this. Peace.